1. This is the Banana Docks of New York around 1905, located at the Old Slip Piers along the East River. They are known for this name because of constantly unloading bananas in this area. 2. What you're seeing is a vintage Halloween costume from back in the day, which lets creepiness start in. 3. Here, a nurse feeds a patient while Jesus watches, one of the bone-chilling photos from Canada in the 1920s. 4. Nothing creeps us more than an old doll sitting alone in a child's chair. This snapshot was taken back in 1930, and as soon as it made it to the internet, it started causing a lot of panic. 5. While this is just another costume, the bear looks terrifying, and even the kid knows that it's dangerous. One of the most absurd photos from the 1900s. 7. Look at these two girls standing on a porch with Halloween masks that will scare nearly anyone. Would you be scared? 8. While this photo was supposed to be wholesome with a kid in an old-time car, the lighting, the eeriness, and the vibes just make it seem like he's terrified. 9. I bet you've never seen this before. Farmers in homemade Halloween costumes. This is something you would see in a Wrong Turn movie. 10. This is a regular person, but due to the camera lens messing it up, it looks like a group of ghostly people is sitting there. In the middle, the face blur just adds to the creepiness. 11. Have you ever wondered what happens when a photograph is opened after a long time? Mold appears. And this image is the epitome of how time can change everything. At one time, this would be a very wholesome image, but today, it's really just creepy on many ends. 12. Look at this crazy blackface Halloween costume. What if it's just real? 13. Back in the days, light leak was rather common. This is a photo of Grandpa and Grandma posing with a light leak, looking like something terrible is happening. 14. Look at this tiny old woman sitting on her rocking chair on the porch. There's just something unsettling about this image, but we can't prove it. 15. Another photo that was messed up by the camera. While all we see are four beauties, thanks to the camera's mess-up, it looks like four ghostly women posing in front of a house. Something straight from the Wednesday season. 16. It doesn't get creepier than this. Here we have a woman who is posing in front of a camera, wearing a plaid dress. In the background are several Christian symbols. 17. While young boys should be laughing and goofing around, this guy looks like a ghost has been summoned upon him. Just absurd. 18. A similar photo of an intense young girl staring at the camera with a very strong gaze. 19. Look at this eyeless woman and a child wearing a hat. Their boots are even creepier. 20. While this photo was supposed to be rather wholesome, all the nature around her and her unique dress just make it very eerie. 21. On Christmas night, this woman is startled by something. On one end, there are women, and on the other, there's complete darkness. Why is that? 22. While this could be a prank, this is a photo of a screaming woman tied to a tree. 23. This photo is quite disturbing because on the front, you can see a baby, but on the back, there's some fatherly or motherly figure, which we just cannot see properly. Who do you think it is? Tell us in the comments below. 24. During the Christmas time, this would be something most people won't prefer looking at. There's a creepy-looking Santa with two girls posing with him. 25. Here's a creepy little boy holding his cat in front of a mirror. While there's nothing inherently creepy about him, it's just the photo itself, looking like it was taken straight out of an Insidious movie. 26. Nothing gets as creepy as a woman holding a doll in her hand. The crazy part? The same doll is just staring at her. 27. Here's a group of New Yorker children enjoying with each other while playing as a horse is decomposing near them. 28. These are the contestants in the Redhead Bathing Beauty Contest lined up at Luna Park in Coney Island on July 4th, 1901. 29. While today we have Ubers and taxis, back in the 1900s, we had a carriage stand waiting for two elegantly dressed women to approach it. 30. Look how cramped Mulberry Street was, in the heart of the Italian neighborhood. 31. At first glance, this looks like a completely normal image of a woman sitting beside a man. But just zoom in on that man, he looks awfully similar to Nikola Tesla. 32. Look at this group of people in a former neighborhood in the 4th Ward of Manhattan's Lower East Side, just before the 1900s. 33rd. Pedestrians have a snowstorm on New York streets. This shows the hardships we had to face because there were not a lot of technological advancements at that time. 34. This guy won a competition, and all the men around him are his competitors who are posing with him. Today, this image looks absurd because a lot of sportsmen have huge egos. 35. Dozens of beachgoers are enjoying the sun and sea in a relaxed atmosphere. The crazy part? No one is wearing bikinis, and women are wearing traditional dresses. 36. Immigrant children are changing the Pledge of Allegiance. 37. A poor coal family living in New York in the early 1900s. This marks the harshness of life back in the days. 38. While electric tech is just making its mark today, back in the early 1900s, electric trolleys were quite common. 39. This is the rooftop of a skyscraper with an odd-looking structure, hosting children underneath. 40. These immigrant couples are waiting for someone to give them a donation because life for the immigrants was rather hard. Quite hard, actually. 41. Look at this absurd photo of a man trying to maneuver his horse. It's almost like he is going to fall very soon. 42. While this looks like a regular girl, this is the photograph of Lily Mae Smith Tucker, descendant of the Cherokee Red Indian Native tribe. She was a popular public figure and someone whom the world didn't know was a native due to her getup. 43. This photo was taken in Deadwood Cemetery in late July 1903 next to the tomb of Wild Bill Hickok. This woman also died later, and her grave was laid beside Will Bill as well. It seemed like they both had something going on, which was later revealed to be that both were partners in their expeditions many times when Bill was alive. 44. At first glance, she looks like a regular woman. However, she is a descendant of a settler and the Cherokee tribe, which shows that she's the perfect mix of both worlds. Just look at her modern side and that indigenous beauty, blending perfectly with each other. 45. After a long day of work, these boys were exhausted and were homeless, so they slept beside the stairs, which just goes to show how difficult life was back in those days. 46. Another scene of bathers enjoying the sun at Coney Island. You know what's interesting? The modesty in the dressing. 47. Here, we have a small electric railway at Luna Park around 1905. No one makes railways like these anymore. Imagine how cool it would be if they were just to go from point A to point B. But today, it seems the world has gone backwards instead. 48. This is the ever-so-hated lockstep formation that prisoners hate doing, and it is happening in New York City's jail just before the 1900s. The image was taken at Roosevelt Prison, just for reference. 49. Here we have an image of a cramped and shadowed space that serves as a backdrop to the daily life of early New Yorkers. Life wasn't easy, and just looking at the photo, it seems like these people were living the toughest lives any human could possibly go through. 50. Eureka, Colorado, was one of the most bustling cities thanks to the whole mining regime, and people were just going there again and again, in hopes of finding important materials like gold. However, it wasn't as glamorous as the rumors, and today it is known as a ghost town. This photo was taken in the early 1900s. 51. This family is singing in the parlor. What makes it so horrific is that the creepy family has shadows behind them, which only portrays the image as creepy. In fact, if we were there, it might be seen as wholesome. 52. In this picture, there's a sad little girl who is holding hands with her sister. The image was taken in Illinois, but what makes this one so creepy is that the sister is scratched out. No one knows the reason why, but one thing is for sure. Something definitely did happen there. 53. Cross-dressing was a part of centuries-old cultures as well. This is a large group of cross-dressing partygoers, all staring at the photo. It's not something that's creepy, but just absurd to think about, since the culture is only getting mainstream today. 54. Smallpox took more lives than you would imagine. In this photo, a woman is infected by the disease, lying in bed, and just praying for betterment. This shows the cruel reality of the life of smallpox victims before the treatment became a thing. 55. The beautiful hair is shining in the picture, but the more you stare at it, the creepier it becomes. Do you think it's creepy? Tell us in the comments below. 56. As we all know, nothing is as creepy as a blurred face child. Here, we have a girl with a stuffed bear with her doll. Pretty absurd, right? 57. Here we have a man standing next to another person who is wearing a creepy mask. 58. Why would someone even dare to read a book in a forest? But this is not just any forest. It's a burned-out forest. Something about this picture is so absurd. 59. Here, we have a little girl examining a large doll of Christmas. The doll itself looks quite creepy due to its relatively larger size. 60. In a foggy forest, you would think Slender Man would appear. Here, we have a little girl pushing a stroller in the forest. Pretty scary, if I say so. 61. Things are getting creepier with this picture, as there's a woman crawling off the couch in a way only the Ring would be able to pull off. 62. Back in 1934, here's a doll standing on a chair in the sunlight. That's the epitome of evil. 63. This image is quite creepy, as this Santa Claus just visited a woman. The image was taken in the 20th century. 64. Here, we have American soldiers, members of Maryland's 117th Trench Mortar Battery, operating a trench mortar. The gun and crew kept firing through the raid of March 4, 1918. 65. June 1906. Just look at the number of people in the car. Some say that they took these cars on an 11,000-mile journey, and the image was taken when they came back home. 66. In the early 20th century, look at these men in a bar. But if you look closely, they have a horse in the bar too. This is the amount of love that horses received, and they were quite valuable. 67. This is a Chinese merchant in the Wild West who provided things like dried foods, teas, and silks to the miners who were working in the area. 68. These are just two circus clowns standing next to each other, and nearly 8% of Americans struggle with coulrophobia, the fear of clowns. 69. As this woman stood with her hands on the forehead of a deceased loved one, a ghostly face watched over. This happened in the 19th century. 70. They say this is the photo of ectoplasm captured in a photograph. 71. These people are performing a séance, which is an art of attempting to communicate with the dead. 72. As this image was taken, you can see that there's a ghost appearing above the baby. 73. A farmer in McMinnville, Oregon, captured a photo of what appears to be a flying saucer. 74. Look at this skeleton desk at a board meeting for the Post-Mortem Club. 75. Another photo of a girl with her doll. For people with doll fear, this one would be quite creepy. 76. This message was written on a wall of the Chicago homicide scene. It was William Hirons who was caught as soon as the message was discovered. 77. According to many people, this is a spiritual medium, Ava Carriere, holding a glowing rod with both of her hands during a spiritual seance. With that, our list of 77 absurd photos from early 1900s America is finished. If you'd like more creepy and absurd photos from the past, do subscribe to our channel and ring the bell icon for more.